Nobody ever promised you this would be easy. Nobody ever said the road would be smooth, that the pain would skip you, that disappointment would somehow forget your name. Life is rough. It was always going to be rough, whether the pain comes from an enemy, from sickness, from time, from something you never saw coming. The pain arrives regardless. That's simply the nature of being alive. You've been let down before, more than once, more than you'd like to count. You tried and nobody noticed. You reached and you came up short. And when it happens over and over, something starts to shift inside you. It stops feeling like bad luck and starts feeling like your identity. You start telling yourself, maybe I'm just not built for this. Maybe this is just how my story goes. And the danger isn't the disappointment itself. The danger is how easily disappointment becomes normal. How much easier it feels to accept the condition than to risk being let down one more time trying to change it. But here's what I need you to understand. Disappointment doesn't break you in one blow. It's slower than that. It's a wearing down a little at a time, until you almost don't notice how much hope you've quietly given away. And people watching from the outside start to assume you don't care anymore. That's not the truth. You cared. You cared so much it hurt, and the world didn't care back the way you needed it to. That's not the same as not caring. That's the residue of caring too hard, for too long without the return you were hoping for. You might feel like there's no hope left in the tank. I hear you, but it doesn't matter how empty the tank feels right now. Keep fighting anyway. What doesn't break you is supposed to make you stronger. But that strength doesn't build itself automatically. You have to choose it on purpose, especially on the days it feels pointless. Keep going, because the only actual failure available to you is quitting. Everything else, no matter how much it hurts, is still just the middle of the story. Think about what it actually takes to make a diamond. Extreme pressure, extreme heat, and if that wasn't enough on its own, it takes cutting too, deliberate, precise cutting that would destroy something less prepared for it. If you want to become something that can't be broken, you have to go through the pressure first. There's no version of becoming unbreakable that skips the part where you almost break. I've been defeated more times than I can count on both hands. I've been disappointed in ways that still sting to think about. And I promise you, once you make it all the way through that kind of pressure, something changes. You stop being fragile in the way you used to be. You're already in the pain. Make sure you walk away from it with something to show for it. Pain is temporary, even when it doesn't feel that way in the moment. It might last a minute, an hour, a day, sometimes a year. But eventually it moves, and something else takes its place. Quitting, though, doesn't move. Quitting is the one thing in this entire equation that actually lasts forever. So I dare you to sit with a little discomfort instead of running from it. Go through it. You are not going to die from it, no matter how loud that fear gets in the moment. We're living through some dark stretches right now. All of us, in one way or another. I don't need you speaking negativity into that darkness. I need you encouraged anyway. Chest out, head up, walking with pride even while you're still in the middle of the fight. Because the truth is, many of us have already survived worse than what's currently in front of us. If it was easy, everybody would already have it. It's not going to be easy, but we have exactly what it takes anyway. Don't look at the night as darkness. Look at it as the beginning of whatever's coming next. At some point, everybody faces disappointment. Everybody faces a setback they didn't plan for. Everybody loses somebody they weren't ready to lose. I don't care who you are or what you've built. At some point, you're going to feel tired in a way sleep doesn't fix. You're going to hit a rut where nothing you touch seems to work. And you'll start asking yourself why. That voice will start whispering that you're alone, that nobody understands, that you'd be better off disappearing entirely. Don't feed that voice. That voice is not the truth. That voice is just untreated pain talking. You have to build your own sense of worth deliberately. Because if you don't, the noise of the world will do it for you. And it won't do it kindly. It doesn't matter what happened to you. What actually matters is what you decide to do next. Step toward the hard thing instead of ducking it. Most people want the easy version of everything, and easy rarely produces anything worth keeping. Handle the difficult decision now, the one you've been avoiding, because it's one of the hoops you are always going to have to jump through to get where you're actually trying to go. Life doesn't wave a white flag to warn you the race is almost over. There's no signal telling you this is the last hard turn before the finish line. So people wave their own white flag too early, never knowing how close they actually were. Don't be the person who quits one turn before the breakthrough. That would be the real tragedy, not the struggle itself, but walking away from it the exact moment before it was finally about to pay off. You can't unsee what you've already seen. You can't abandon it just because it stopped feeling good. Don't let other people talk you out of something you know in your bones. You're supposed to finish. Keep believing. Keep moving, even if it's just crawling some days. This might be the day everything turns. You never know which mile is the one right before the miracle. Nobody told you that having a dream means life leaves you alone to enjoy it. Life tests the dream. Life throws things at you that make you ask yourself, do you really want this bad enough? People you thought would stay will leave. Some relationships won't survive your growth. That's part of the cost, and it's a real cost, not a small one. But you've already paid too much to walk away now. You've invested too much. You've lost too much for this to end in quitting. Get a reward for the pain you've already carried. Don't just cry about it. Turn it into something. We're still here, still in the fight, still undefeated in the way that actually counts, the willingness to keep showing up. So stand up straight. March forward anyway, and when you do, give somebody else around you a reason to keep standing too, because your posture becomes permission for somebody else who's watching you and wondering if it's possible to survive what you survived. Understand something clearly. Whatever knocked you down originally is not your fault. You didn't choose the diagnosis, the loss, the betrayal. But if I come back a year from now and you're still exactly where it left you, that part becomes yours to own. Getting knocked down was never in your control. Getting back up always has been. Decide today that from this point forward, the only way you actually lose is if you quit. That's it. That's the whole rule. You don't know how resourceful you actually are until you run out of every easy option. Your current darkness might just be the exact setup for the next stage of your development, even if it doesn't feel that way tonight. If you're still breathing, the story isn't finished writing itself yet. As long as you're still waking up, you're still in this. Life is 10% what happens and 90% how you respond to it. You're going to need real energy for this. Not the fake borrowed kind that fades by Thursday, but something durable enough to carry you through the actual hard days. Stay ready before the bad news arrives, so when it does show up, it doesn't catch you flat-footed and unprepared. I wish I could promise you it gets easier the longer you keep going. I can't promise that, honestly. What I can tell you is you'll find something inside yourself that gets stronger the more it's asked to carry. Find your reason, the person, the promise, the version of your future you refuse to abandon. And let that reason pull you one more mile when your legs have nothing left to give on their own. What you went through yesterday has nothing to do with what's waiting for you tomorrow. That chapter taught you the lessons required to reach this one. Maybe being weary doesn't mean you're weak. It might just mean you've been carrying something heavy for longer than anyone realized. We might be standing in a hard season right now, but we don't have to stay flat on the ground inside it. We can climb our way back into the light, 1 inch at a time if that's all we've got today. It's okay to fall. Falling was never the actual failure. What matters is whether you get back up afterward, because you will. If you decide right now that quitting simply isn't an option left on the table anymore. The people who make it aren't always the smartest or the strongest in the room. Most of the time, they're just the ones who outlasted everyone else who gave up first. So if you're ready to quit, don't even start. But if you're not, if some part of you still refuses to accept that this is where your story ends, then get up one more time and give it everything you've got left. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more.